So here we are on the ride for MaxCyclingTV in Clifton, very posh Clifton in Bristol, and we're here with none other than Jonathon Tiernan-Locke of Team Endura and soon to be of Team Sky. John, welcome to the ride today. Thanks for having us along. Where are you going to take us today?
We're going to go over the bridge, head up around the airport, do a lap around the Chew Valley Lake, bit of climbing, not too much, don't worry.
Thanks very much, thanks very much.
And back over the bridge, it's a couple hours, but you know, that's enough in this cold.
I'm very much looking forward to this ride, John. Fueled on a nice bit of coffee.
That's it.
So without further ado, shall we give it a go?
Let's go.
Just do it. Right then. Okay, John, off to Clifton Bridge, mate. So, John, this one of your, and the ride you're taking us on today, is this one of your longer rides or a shorter sort of loop? What's it? Or a variation on a theme?
I often start off this way, or sometimes, you know, string a couple of loops together, but it's sometimes good just to get out as a recovery ride. You know, it's only about 2 hours, so but yeah, I do it. Sort of come out this way most days, really.
Yeah, I'm glad we've had a little bit of a warm-up because we seem to be going up a bit of a gentle incline now, just to get my my legs going. Bit of an opportune moment to sort of talk about how you got into the sport, really, John. Because again, you know, you're a superstar now, basically. You're approaching what, 28 now?
Yeah.
And little sort of known about your the way you started in the sport, and I know you're brought up in Plymouth. So, what was your first cycling club that you joined?
Well, originally I wasn't in any cycling clubs.
Okay.
You know, started off on a mountain bike.
Right.
Just as a private member, you know. You know, no club originally, just with a mountain bike, and it was 10 years ago actually.
Right. Okay.
10 years ago.
So you were like 18, 17?
Yeah, when I turned 18, I took out a fourth cut licence with the Mid-Devon Cycling Club.
Okay.
So that was my first, you know, club on the road. And
right.
I just got a road bike to train from the mountain bike, really. Did a couple of races and I just preferred it. You know, there's more to it with the tactics and everything, and
sure.
You know, it just went from there.
So who was an inspiration? I mean, what drove you? I mean, most people have some sort of hero they aspire to. I mean, back in those days, was there anybody you looked up to? Or did you have any kind of long-term ambitions to turn pro? Or were you just enjoying the sport?
I think I was just enjoying it at the time. I was always ambitious, but you know, I was adamant back then that my future would be in mountain biking. And,
okay. But
a lot of people in the Mid-Devon Cycling Club helped me out in those days, and you know, you had guys like Jeremy Hunt.
Yep.
Who had come through there, and Yanto was doing well at the time, Yanto Barker.
Yep.
And sort of encouraged me to do more, and you know, I just made the switch.
So I know you first came to prevalence probably 4 or 5 years ago in the Premier calendars, running for Sports Beams, would that be fair?
That's it, yeah.
So that's when you first made a bit of a name for yourself. That's certainly, excuse me while I try and talk when I'm completely out of breath. Yeah, for the benefit of the tape, we are up a reasonably steep hill at the moment. When did you realise, or was there a point that you thought, actually, I'm a good bike rider, I think I can make it? Was there a point where you realised that that's the path you wanted to take, or did it happen very, very quickly? Was it difficult to become aware of it?
I think, well, without, you know, wanting to sound arrogant, I always, you know, knew I could be a half-decent bike rider, but I think just about taking it more seriously, you know. So riding from RAF for the first year, I kind of did things half right.
Yeah.
And then the next year I thought, well, we've got a good race programme. If I can get some wins, it's not too late to, you know, just to climb the ladder a bit. And that's what I did. I just sort of knuckled down and tried to live the life of a bike rider more.
Yeah.
And with Endura, this year. Had a great race programme, a good team around me, and kind of had another big step up. I think often in cycling you can plateau or make small improvements.
Yeah.
You know, I think the last 2 years worked really hard, and it's sort of paid off this year, really.
Sure, I mean, it's been quite clear with each step you've taken in relation to team changes, there's been an associated jump in your ability. You know, it's the program's been given and you basically stepped up to the plate each time. So I think with Endura, they've given you a wonderful race program, but you've more than stepped up to the plate. You've exceeded expectations, really. And now, of course, you know, you're on board with the best pro team in the world, and the world's at your feet. It must be a very, very exciting time for you.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I couldn't have asked for more. And like you said, you know, riding for sports beans and local teams, winning local races, and then to Rafa and winning the lower ranked UCI races, and so, you know, stepped up this year to, you know, getting results in the middle sort of UCI races. So,
sure.
You know, hopefully next year with Sky, I'll sort of raise my ambitions again, and, you know, want to be a good team player, and you always want some success for yourself too.
Definitely. I mean, obviously at the start of the year you had this magnificent start with the win of the Tour of the Med, and then with Haute Var, and we all know that the Sky became interested very, very early. Now, there's a lot been said about your decision to stay with Endura. I mean, was that a decision you consciously made yourself, or with Brian? Did you just say, right, I've signed with Endura, I've got an opportunity to go, but actually I'm going to stay with Endura and just see the season out? How did it pan out?
It all happened pretty quickly with the, you know, those wins at the start of the year, and yeah, there was some interest, but, you know, I talked to those with Brian, and just, you know, you've got to stay loyal to, you know, they gave me the opportunity. Yep. To get myself in. You know, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be in that position.
Of course,
thought,
yeah.
well, you know, it's not like it's the last race I'm going to win.
No.
I'll get a result in, hopefully, and so no, they looked after me this year. So, you know,
I mean, quite
you
clear.
owe it to something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's and then of course, I think for the outsider, it would have been lovely to see you in the classics, but I know you had a bit of a lull mid-season because of an injury, and obviously you picked up again to take a, you know, well-deserved, emphatic victory in the Tour of Britain. But then, you know, moving on to the Worlds, I mean, I talk about amazing situations. Having possibly the best road team in the world at your disposal, again, that must have been tremendous. And did you feel the pressure on that day? Because it certainly didn't look like you rode with pressure.
There wasn't too much pressure, you know. I had a lot of confidence coming up from the Tour of Britain. The form was great. Taking it easy in that week between, so I was fresh.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not like when they won in the Cav and it was a big goal. It was a bit of unknown. There wasn't really any pressure like that.
Sure. I
put a bit on myself, but it was yeah, it was quite relaxed. It was pretty surreal though, you know. Like you said, the names you've got and that team kind of at your disposal.
Yeah.
Without them having, you know, having really ridden with you much before, so
of course, yeah.
Not really knowing your abilities.
Did you have any chance to, apart from obviously the race of the Road Sky Tour of Britain, did you have an opportunity to ride with the guys prior to the World Road Race?
Not really.
No. Okay.
It was just to fly in last minute, one little loop the day before, and you know, quick coffee stop, and then, you know, into the racing the next day.